Hello and welcome to Season 3 of the 2002 F1 GPRO Championship, whatever it's called, and we are into qualifying for the British Grand Prix. Heinz Frentzen currently on pole position after 7 minutes, 129.4. Oh no, that's Juan Pablo Montoya's done that, and Alex Young has managed to do 129.2 in the Minardi. He's gone straight back out of the Minardi, as Fisichella has just jumped straight into the lead. 3.5 seconds quicker. Frentzen beats Fisichella's time. De La Rosa has popped up onto there. Montoya has gone back onto pole position in the Toyota. We shall talk about the driver changes and all the rule changes afterwards. Young has popped into second place ahead of Heinz Frentzen. He is a tenth behind Montoya. 2.7 second tenths, is Frentzen behind. And we have 35 minutes to go, as the top four has not changed yet. They've all done extra laps, Fisichella's, and that is Bertie that's popped into 4th place at the moment. Ralf Schumacher, the Season 2 champion, is sitting in 7th place at the moment. Young goes out, he's not improved his time, he stays in 2nd place. Montoya still on pole position at the moment. Bertie's out again, and he has improved his time but not his position. Still waiting for the other two of the top 3 to go out for their 4th runs. Schumacher has gone out again. Heinz Frenzen's out, he has not improved his position. Montoya is out and not improved his time at all. Verstappen just went out and not improved. Ralf Schumacher is down to 9th at the moment. Jos Verstappen, Schumacher's still in 8th place. Jos Verstappen is just gone out. He looks like he's going to be the final person to make a lap time, and he has not improved from his 7th position. Word of note of Rubens Barrichello, he's only done 3 laps because he crashed. Apparently the Jordans 18th and 19th, not very good qualifying for the Jordans of Button and Hill. Sato, Mazzacane, Raikkonen, Coulthard, Lazy, Panis, Webber. Those are the 11th, 20th. They've got Alonso, and we're onto the grid for the British Grand Prix, race 1 of the Season 3 Championship here at Silverstone. Yeah, quite a bit of action there was in the first time we went the first race last season. Quite a few overtakes of the top 5. We shall find out if we have anything like that this season, as they are under starters' orders. And eventually they are away. It's a good start from Montoya. Young tries to follow. It's Fisichella with a good start. No, it's Bertie with a good start in the Jordan. Montoya goes a little bit wide, but Young couldn't capitalise as they go through Maggots and Beckett's. Slow motion as they go finish Maggots into Beckett's. De La Rosa, Schumacher, Alonso, Webber, Panis, Coulthard, Lazy, Raikkonen, Barrichello. Barrichello with a very good start. Button is currently in last place in the Jordan. Round Maggots into Beckett for the first time, and Montoya leads going down to that through the hanger straight down towards Stowe corner for the first time. It is Juan Pablo Montoya leading from Alex Young. Frentzen makes a move on Bertie. He takes 3rd place. He looks like he's a man on a mission, is that Arrows. Braking heavily towards Vale and into Club. Young had a little look in Vale. Bertie 4th place in the Jaguar. 5th place behind him is the other Jaguar of De La Rosa. And Young makes an overtake of Montoya and takes the lead of the British Grand Prix, does the Minardi of Alex Young. Round bridge down towards the complex, in towards Brooklands, and Luffield, the final corner of the final proper corner. Bertie looking to try and re-overtake Frentzen. De La Rosa looks to be under pressure on Fisichella. There's Fisichella in the Renault. And now the first lap is over and done with. This Verstappen behind him in the McLaren. Few driver changes, as Fisichella has just done an overtake on De La Rosa, and so does Verstappen, but De La Rosa's losing 2 positions in one corner. As you can see, Verstappen signed for McLaren. Hakkinen was fired last season after doing poorly, and he is now on the sidelines. There's Ralf Schumacher, the Season 2 champion. Alonso in 10th place in the Toyota. He's got a new teammate in the form of one Pablo Montoya. And the only other driver's change is BAR. They've got a new... There's 2 more driver changes. BAR have signed Gaston Mazzacane from the sidelines. He's driving to the BAR. He's currently in 16th place. And Damon Hill has been re-signed by Jordan after his spell in the late 90s. He is there to partner Button, making way with Jarno Trulli, but it's the 2 Jordans that are currently 19th and 20th at the moment. There's a few rule changes as Frentzen has taken the lead of the British Grand Prix. That's a turn up for the books, because it was Young and Montoya that were in front of Frentzen, but Frentzen has managed to take the lead. We missed them overtakes because we're looking through the whole field. We're already on towards lap 3 out of 24. We've got a few rule changes in place. The pit lane has gone from 100 km an hour to 80 km an hour to give more of a variety in strategy. Speaking of strategy, fuel tanks have been increased from 50 litres to 180 litres. There's no longer any fuel suppliers. All the drivers have the same fuel supplier. So we're going to have quite a diverse amount of pits, ranging from 1 stop to 3 stops, which shall be interesting for the race indeed, and hopefully more overtakes will occur as well with the different fuel strategies, which makes France even more exciting when we come to it midway through this season. And the other rule changes is 2 tyre suppliers, Michelin and Bridgestone. I don't remember which team's which. All I know is I believe Arrows, Jaguar and Ferrari are all on Bridgestones as they go through Abbey in towards Bridge. It is Alonso. Not Alonso, it's Montoya trying to overtake Young. He nearly took Young out. It's Frentzen currently leading. He's pulling away from Young and Montoya at the moment as they all go around Luffield for the 3rd time. Montoya trying to make a move on Young. Young keeping his line very well, not letting Montoya go through as they go towards lap 4 towards Copse Corner. Is Montoya going to have the line? Montoya has the line and he takes the position. 2nd place now for the Colombian in the Toyota. He sat out last season due to the financial trouble of Williams and managed to get re-signed for the Toyota team, who finished in 4th place last season, hoping they would improve. They always have a good start to the season, but a mediocre end to the season, as we are on board with Jos Verstappen in the McLaren 5th place currently. For the Dutchman, Michael Schumacher 6th place in the Ferrari. 2 of these former teammates way back when. Fisichella currently in the Renault in 7th place. Then we go on board with Ralf Schumacher 8th place in the Arrows, down through Club and Vale Corners. Mark Webber 9th place in the Sauber. Did a very good job, the Sauber team, despite the budget. There's the De La Rosa in 10th place, 2-time champion. The 2-time champion, well, 2-time champion if we include beta seasons, 1-time champion if we don't. I don't think we're going to include the beta season, so he's a 1-time champion. Panis 13th in the BAR, round Bridge Quarter down towards Priory, in towards Brooklands for the 4th time. It's a very huge train appearing at the moment. It might be headed by Pedro De La Rosa. Coulthard looks through the inside of De La Rosa, nothing doing there. There's Barrichello in 16th place. He's doing, despite the fact he crashed in qualifying, he's not actually got the pace at the moment, although he has overtaken Mazzacane, so maybe it was Mazzacane that was holding him up. The Jordans are, no other ways to put it, terribly slow at the moment. There's Damon Hill in 20th place, home Grand Prix for Damon Hill. Quite a few of the drivers is the home Grand Prix, and for a few of the teams, including Arrows, who we are now on board with. Heinteld Frentzen, second place. No, it wasn't. He was third. He ended up in third place last season because he retired from the German Grand Prix. He's currently leading the British Grand Prix by 3 seconds ahead of Montoya and Young as they all go down towards Abbey. Young having a little look around Montoya, but nothing doing there. Going round to bridge in towards Priory again. Young tried to go down the inside of Montoya, but nothing doing there for the Malaysian. But he's managed to get through at the end of Brooklands. Montoya looking to do a switch back around Luffield. He has there's a little tag there, but Young keeps hold of position, but is near the side by side going to Woodcote down the pitch straight in towards Cops. Is Montoya going to take the position back? Not quite. He's just slammed the door shut at them there, forcing Young a little bit wide. He's taken back second place. It's a fantastic battle brewing in second place. There's the Malaysian of Alex Young as they go around Beckett and Maggots for the sixth time. Bertie, fourth place. Schumacher's in fifth place in the Ferrari. Jos Verstappen, sixth. It's a huge gap now towards the Sauber of Webber in seventh. Got the Renault of Fisichella in eighth place. Ninth place is Ralf Schumacher in the Arrows. Fernando Alonso, 10th place Toyota. Under pressure from David Coulthard in 11th. He's managed to get past De La Rosa. De La Rosa's down into 13th now. He's doing not well at all, is De La Rosa. 13th place for the Jaguar. 14th place is the Sauber of Kimi Raikkonen. Round club they go. There's a John Alesi. Mazzacane looking to defend his position from Barrichello, who he has re-overtaken. Has Mazzacane, the Argentinian driver, making his first start for quite a while, replacing Pedro Diniz in the BAR. And the Jordans look like they're going to be the backmarker team this season. There's Heinteld Frentzen into the pits. He's the first person into the pits. He's surely on a free-stop strategy then if he's going in this early. Down towards his pit box goes Frentzen. So he was fueled really light, was Frentzen, which explains why he was so quick at the start of the race. Change of all four tyres, still refueling, and away they go. 7.6 second stop for Frentzen. He's going to get out in plenty of clear air. There's a huge bit of clear air between Alesi and Raikkonen. He's back out in 14th place is Frentzen. So there is your first pit stop of the Season 3 Championship. It is Frentzen, the former race leader. He's on a free stop strategy, it looks like. Young takes the lead this time of the British Grand Prix. Juan Pablo Montoya second behind him. 3/10. As Montoya looks to try to overtake him round Abbey, but it's not really an overtaking spot, is Abbey. Bridge corner, just a small lift around Bridge corner, down towards Priory. Had a little look at Montoya. Is he going to overtake him round Brooklands? He's got the inside line to Montoya, and Montoya takes the lead again. But Young is kept with Montoya as they go round Luffield, but Montoya gets a better exit, and Young is probably not going to overtake him further down. Verstappen in third place in the McLaren. Currently he's overtaken Michael Schumacher at some point. Verstappen third, Michael Schumacher in fourth in the Ferrari. Bertie in fifth place. Bertie's actually lost the two positions, on beg your pardon, to Verstappen and Schumacher. There is Bertie. We are on board with Webber now. He's in sixth place. Fisichella currently occupying seventh place, trying to catch up to Webber in the Sauber. Eighth place is currently Ralf Schumacher. He's got Fernando Alonso for company behind him. That is that's Coulthard in 10th place, with 11th place being Panis. 12th place De La Rosa at the moment. 13th place is Raikkonen. He's got quite a huge sizable gap to Frenson is in 14th place, but he has already made a pit stop as he goes around Stowe. 15th place currently is Barrichello, who is looking to make a move on Sato, but Sato has made a move on Barrichello. Barrichello was the one in front. They've both overtaken a Lazy as well. To go on board with Sato as he goes round Vale and Club. There's a Lazy in 17th place in the Renault round Club they go. Matsukane in 18th place in the BAR. And the two Jordans are quite far behind now, 5 and 14 seconds behind Matsukane respectively, as we go on board with Young, who has started the 8th lap, I think. Alex Young still leading from Pablo Montoya. They're pulled away significantly from the top 3. Michael Schumacher in 3rd place now, because I believe Verstappen has pitted for his first stop. I presume that Verstappen is then on a 2-stop strategy. So it looks like Frenson might be the only 3-stopper this race. Down towards Stowe corner. Young and Montoya going around Stowe corner quite quickly, obviously. Quite a quick corner, Stowe. Heavy braking now towards Club. Very tight chicane is... That was Vale, sorry. This is Club. Very tight chicane between Club and Vale. Round Club corner. Down towards the Abbey chicane. And they negotiate that rather well, of course, because they're the leaders. They should negotiate it well. Round a very quick bridge corner. The heavy braking towards Priory. Montoya is just following Young, trying to make a move. Is the Colombian. The Toyota team is getting ready for a pit stop, though. It's going to be for Montoya, unless will Young follow Montoya in? The answer is no. Young stays out for one more lap. Montoya takes to the pit lane, braking heavily to 80 kilometers an hour down towards his pit box. He's going to turn into the pit box now. It looks like McLaren and Ferrari are also ready for their drivers. How far is he going to? They're going to fuel Montoya for. It's Michael Schumacher that's in the pits. It's a 9-second pit stop. We're looking for... Will be Frenson in the fast lane. I think Frenson has already gone past. No, he hasn't. Montoya has jumped Frenson. That's quite remarkable, because Montoya was obviously lighter. He's now much more heavy than Frenson, so Frenson is should easily overtake him. Down towards the Hungary Straight they go. There's an 8/10 gap between Montoya, and there's a huge squabble now for position. Raikkonen, De La Rosa and Panis all fighting for 7th, 8th and 9th at the moment. And that is Panis taking 8th place from De La Rosa. It was a very opportunistic pass. He's made a mistake though, and De La Rosa looks like have to overtake him around Club. It's a fantastic overtake that was. Rather opportunistic. They've both gone towards the inside. There's Ralph Schumacher currently in 4th place in the Aros. Bertie in 3rd in the Jaguar. 2nd is Guri Fisichella. Young dives into the pits, into the lead. He's currently got a 13-second lead over Fisichella. How far is they going to fuel that to Minardi for? Looks like the arrows are ready as well for, I presume, Ralph Schumacher. Fisichella's also pitted. Bertie hasn't. He will take the lead of the British Grand Prix. As we wait, Young waits for the fuel rig to come out. It is a 9.7 pit stop. He's fueled for 7 laps, so he is on the 2-stop strategy. As well as Montoya. Frenson has overtaken Montoya. Oh, that was very close. That was very close to a collision between Panis and Young. Frenson has indeed overtaken Montoya. As Young is probably going to be overtaken by Frenson at some point as well. There's a huge disparity of pace difference between the fuel stops now. Panis currently in 4th place in the BAR. De La Rosa in 3rd. Alonso in 2nd. It would be Ralph Schumacher. No, Ralph Schumacher's already pitted. It's Bertie that's in the lead. There is Alonso in 2nd place in the Toyota. Bertie currently leading in the Jaguar. Down through Abbey that was. Sato occupying last place at the moment, but Hill is directly in front. They've both got one more stop to make. Well, Hill hasn't stopped yet. There's Raikkonen in 18th place. He has made his pit stop. Button 16th. Currently Ralf Schumacher directly behind him in 17th place in the arrows. He is fueled to the end though, is Ralf Schumacher. Button 16th. Again for the Jordan. Webber 15th with Schumacher. And that's a huge braking point. That's a fantastic overtake. Round Abbey. Sort of disproving my point of you can't overtake Round Abbey. He's managed to overtake Round Abbey as Coulthard tries to look down the inside of Mazzacane, but he can't overtake him, the Argentinian, who is currently in 12th place on his debut race for BAR. There's Jos Verstappen in 11th place. He was leading. He was in 3rd place, sorry. Fisichella in 10th place. He's managed to jump Verstappen in them pit stops. Lazy in 9th in the Renault, with Barrichello directly in front in 8th place. Barrichello has not made his pit stop yet. Lazy hasn't either. Fisichella behind them have though. Round Beckett into Chapel, down the hanger straight. Go Barrichello and Lazy. Is Lazy going to take a dive bomb into Stowe? The answer is yes. That's a huge dive bomb for Lazy, and he's managed to overtake Barrichello in towards 8th place. Goes the Frenchman. There's a Lazy in 8th place. Montoya is directly in front, 7th place. Frentzen still hasn't overtaken Young. There's quite the train forming at the moment. Panis, and that is De La Rosa, I believe, fronting that train. As the arrows are actually ready for a pit stop. It's going to be for Frentzen on his free stop. Young in 5th place. He's trying to overtake Panis. Looks like Panis is going to make a pit stop as well in the BAR. In goes Frentzen as well towards the pit lane. There's Panis slowing down to 80 kilometers an hour. Frentzen slowed down to 80 kilometers an hour as well. You should expect Panis 1 stopping and Frentzen 2 stopping, 3 stopping, that Frentzen's going to get out in front of Panis. In goes the fuel hose, filling up the BAR tank. No, it's actually Panis isn't 1 stopping. He went for a long one. It went for a long stint in the first stint. He's going to go for 2 short stints to the end. He's now on the same amount of pit stops as Frentzen. Panis comes out in 10th place with is slow way though. Mazzacane overtaken him, and so has Coulthard. Both cars overtaking him. He was quite slow in acceleration. There's Webber in 13th. Frentzen directly behind in 14th place. The German has another pit stop to make. Is he going to make an overtake? He's now got all 4. He's now got 4 cars directly in front of him. He's going to prove quite difficult to overtake. Schumacher in 15th and 16th because they're both brothers. Raikkonen 17th. Salto in 18th. Hill currently in 19th place with Button propping up the field. There's Bertie still leading the British Grand Prix in the Jaguar. Round the first corner, Alonso is making his pit stop now in the Toyota. He's slowed down to 80 kilometers an hour. Is he on a 1-stop strategy, I believe? He definitely hasn't pitted yet as the Spaniard. The fuel hose is in for the Toyota. It's still being filled up. He's definitely filling up to the end. Alonso's filling up till the end, and away goes Alonso. It's a 13-second pit stop. There's a lot of fuel that went in. Verstappen's gone past. Coulthard will go past now. And Alonso's actually going to get ahead of all these cars unless he gets a slow getaway. He has, but Panis blocks. Is being blocked by... Oh, and Panis has made a small mistake. It's a fantastic save there. Webber getting held up slightly from Panis, and Frentzen has managed to overtake him. But down. Panis looking towards the inside of Alonso. Alonso fresh from the pits is going to be very heavy, and Panis has managed to overtake him around Stowe Corner. Frentzen looks to be trying to do the same towards Vale. This is where Coulthard is going currently. Verstappen's gone around the outside of Fisichella around Club. That must have caught the Italian by surprise, but a fantastic move for Verstappen. He was out of the car for a year after Verstappen, replaced by the Season 2 champion Ralf Schumacher. As Bertie goes into the pits for his one and only stop, I presume. Down towards his pit crew. This is lap 14 he is pitted on. Changing of 4 tyres. And away he goes. Now, 10.8 second pit stop for Bertie towards the fast lane. Around and away he goes. Is Alazi going to take an opportunity? Yes, Alazi has passed him. So there goes Bertie, one and only pit stop, and has managed to get out relatively clean. That's probably him now set for the win. There's Juan Pablo Montoya and Alex Young, second and third place currently. De La Rosa is directly in front of them. He's making one stop today as well. There, and with Young and Montoya also fighting for victory as well. Depends on how close they can get to Bertie, especially with him being heavy now. Montoya and Young are going to have to pass De La Rosa rather quickly. They've got a huge lead over Barry Keller at the moment. 16 seconds lead is the top 3 towards the Ferrari. Round, that was Luffield they go, down round Woodcote, across the pitch straight towards the 16th lap. Montoya looks towards the inside, has made a small mistake. It could allow Young close, but not too close. Montoya in the Toyota. Round Maggots and Beckett's, down Trapple, down the hanger straight. Is Montoya going to take a dive bomb down to De La Rosa? Round Stowe, he had a little look. It's a little wobble, but De La Rosa keeps his line and keeps hold of the lead. But Montoya right down the inside. Is he going to go around the outside of Club? No, he isn't. It's as you were in first, second and third place now. Down through Abbey. De La Rosa still leading. He's coming up to the lapped car of Hill, but he's caught him at the wrong time. Round Bridge. Round Priory. That's not gone well for De La Rosa. Montoya has managed to overtake him. He's still behind Hill. Is De La Rosa. He's now under pressure from Young. De La Rosa's now got to go around the outside of Hill. That's really not done any favours for the Spaniard, the Season 1 champion. He's let Montoya through, and he's now got a 2-second lead as the Colombian. Young has been affected by this as well. But De La Rosa makes his pit stop, his first one and only pit stop of the race. In the slow lane now for De La Rosa, down towards his pit crew. It's going to be quite a short stint. It's going to be 8-lap stint till the end for De La Rosa. And where he goes, 11.5. Bertie has already gone past. That's the gap that we were concentrating on between the leaders and Bertie. Looks like Bertie still looking good for the race victory, but Montoya has gotten away slightly, so who knows. But Bertie's under pressure from Verstappen and Fisichella as well. He's in front of Bertie. Verstappen looking for an overtake on Bertie. Is he going to do it around Stowe? The answer is yes. Jos Verstappen overtakes Bertie. Into 4th place goes Verstappen. Is he going to do one on Fisichella as well? You can see his nose, but it's probably not going to happen. Young has managed to catch up to Montoya, because Montoya is being held up slightly by Takuma Sato. And round the inside goes Montoya. Is Montoya going to dive into the pits? Yes, he is. So there's going to be a battle of the pit crew between Montoya and Young. Who is going to come out on top? We presume it would be Montoya if they're falling to the end. Down towards the pit crew. In pit lane they go, Young and Montoya. So into the pit crew they go. Young changing of all 4 tyres. refueling as well. Montoya is away already. Young is still being serviced, and away they go. Not going to happen today. Bertie, or has Montoya got out in front of Bertie? The answer is yes, Montoya has gone out of Bertie. So Montoya holds on to the lead, but he's going to be under pressure from Fisichella around Baggett's and Beckett's and Chapel. But Fisichella and Verstappen both have to make another pit stop, but Bertie doesn't. We're on board with Fisichella now. Is he going to take a dive bomb on Montoya, going to Stowe? The answer is no, he goes back behind Montoya to take the racing line. He's going to probably going to take another opportunity to do it. Down Club. Verstappen has a little look around Fisichella. Is he going to go around the outside of Club? It looks like he's not, because we're on board with Young. De La Rosa in 6th place. He's got Panic right up his rear. And there's Frenson. Frenson's looking around the outside of Club. Is he going to make the move? Stick. No, he's going to be held out to dry. Is Frenson down towards Abbey. Panis makes the overtake around Pedro De La Rosa. Is Frenson going to follow suit? No, he isn't. De La Rosa keeping hold of 7th position now. That was Alonso in 9th place. Schumacher in 10th. Barrichello in 11th place. As the Ferraris line astern. Both of them have made the same amount of pit stops as the Michael Schumacher. They don't need to make another pit stop. I'm sorry. Coulthard 12th place. Lazy in 13th place. Ralf Schumacher, the defending champion, having a poor race at the moment. He's in 14th place in the Arrows. Not looking to score, looking set to score points. Raikkonen in 15th place in the Sauber. Webber in 16th in the other Sauber. 17th place Mazzacane in the BAR, and then we've got the Jordan of Button in 18th, Sato 19th, and Hill in 20th place for the other Jordan. As we're on board with Jos Verstappen, the current race leader, Montoya. Just behind him, 2.3 seconds is the gap. Montoya made all his pit stops as well. As Bertie looks towards the inside of Montoya, it's going to be the fight for the victory between Juan Pablo Montoya and Luciano Bertie, two South Americans, fighting it out for race victory. Toyota trying to make it 2 out of 2 for race victories on the first race. 2 out of 2 in a row for British Grand Prix wins for Toyota as well, if they manage to do it. But Bertie looks to try and make a move on British. That was never going to happen, but it's a good save for Bertie. Round Priory down towards Brooklands. We're on board with Jos Verstappen as the McLaren team are getting ready for the Dutchman to make his final pit stop. It's going to be a quick splash and dash for Verstappen. Down towards the pit lane, braking to 80 kilometers an hour. And his pit is the first. And then he is going to get fueled up now, changing of all 4 tyres. Fuel hoses in. There's Frenson as well. Verstappen's going to get held up by Frenson. Maybe a little bit held up by Frenson, not too sure, but Frenson is making his 3rd and final pit stop. He's had to brake a little bit for Frenson, in fact, so he might lose out, possibly. I don't think he's not going to lose out much. He's still in 5th place, still ahead of Fisichella. There's De La Rosa in 4th place. We were saying how slow he was, but he is in 4th place still. 3rd place was Young, and Montoya is in 2nd place because he's been overtaken by Bertie somewhere around the track. We're on towards the final 4.5 laps. I'm sorry, 4.5 laps, because we're already most of the way through lap 20. Round the upper chicane. They go, they're coming back up to Damon Hill. Is Bertie going to overtake Hill in a sensible place? Unlike De La Rosa, who tried to overtake him, who couldn't even try to overtake him, but Juan Pablo Montoya managed to overtake De La Rosa, which is what put Montoya in this position to fight for the victory, and not De La Rosa or Young. Bertie goes to the inside of Luffield. Is Montoya going to follow suit? Yes, he is. Down towards the pit straight. He's 6/10 behind Bertie. Is Montoya round Cops? He's getting ever closer. Young is losing heaps of time. Looks like Young is being held up by a driver, probably Damien Hill. Round Beckett. Round Chapel as well, down the Hanger straight. There is Bertie in the lead currently for the Jaguar. Down round Stowe. Monpello Montoya going to try and make it. No, he isn't. But is he going to take a chance round Club? He is. He's set himself up a Vale for a fantastic overtake round Club. Is it going to make it stick round the outside of Club? Yes, he is, but Bertie still got to the outside line, but Montoya slams the door shut. That's a fantastic overtake from Montoya for the final 3 laps at the end of this. Priory, round Priory, Bertie's not close enough. He's probably not going to be close enough to have a chance in Brooklands. So it's going to be Monpello Montoya leading from Bertie down towards the pit straight. They go round Woodcote, the flat out corner is Woodcote, down the pit straight for the lap 22, the final 3 laps. It is Monpello Montoya versus Luciano Bertie to go 5.5 second lead over Alex Young in the Minardi at the moment. Round Maggots and Beckett's, one of the greatest sequence of corners on the F1 calendar. You can go take so much speed into them corners. Round Chapel they go down the Hanger straight. There is Young in 3rd place. It's going to be the best result for Minardi for quite some time. He's well ahead of De La Rosa. There is De La Rosa in 4th place, Button directly in front. Jos Verstappen's 13 seconds behind. Then the McLaren there is Jos Verstappen. Fisichella just behind Verstappen in 6th place. At the moment in the Renault, Alonso in 7th place, 3 seconds behind Fisichella. Frentzen is only just behind the Toyota. Frentzen has not made the free stop work, but it's rather impressive that his free stop has managed to overtake Alonso, so he's in to 7th place is now Frentzen. It's rather impressive how Frentzen has managed to still be in 7th place despite trying to make a free stop work. There's Schumacher and Barrichello, 9th and 10th place. Panis in 11th place. 12th place is Coulthard. 13th for Lazy. 14th is Ralf Schumacher, who has not had a very good race on his one stop, as they lead at the start of their 23rd lap. Montoya and Bertie, the gap 0.3 seconds. Young is in 3rd place. In the Minardi there's quite a huge gap to De La Rosa in 4th place, who is just past Button. There we're on board with Monpello Montoya. Bertie looking left, looking right, trying to pass the Colombian, but not managing to get any way past at the moment for the Brazilian. 5th place Verstappen, 6th place Fisichella, 7th place will probably be Frentzen. There's Frentzen in 7th place, 8th place Schumacher, 9th place Alonso, 10th place Rubens Barrichello. Though it's 10th, 9th place Barrichello, Alonso in 10th place, so there's an overtake around Cops. 11th place is currently Panis. 12th, I didn't even catch it as 12th. The Lazy 13th, Ralf Schumacher 14th, and Scorefather is in 12th place, if I remember correctly. Bertie's going to try down the inside of Abbey, but that's not going to be an overtaking spot. Round the outside is Bertie. He's going to look down the inside of Bridge. No, he isn't. It's going to be a rather interesting final lap. Bertie looks to the inside of Priory, but can't still got getting past Montoya. He's looking down the inside of Brooklands, but Montoya's took the racing line. Is Bertie going to have another look down the inside of Luffield? No, he isn't. He's going round the final corner now. They're going to start the final lap of the British Grand Prix. It's Montoya versus Bertie. Down the pit straight they go, round Cops. Bertie's not close enough to try and challenge. Down towards Maggots and Beckett. If Bertie can get a good exit off of Chapel, he can set himself up for an overtake in Stowe. Round Beckett's they go. He's not close enough. Still following Montoya. He's going to get a good exit around Chapel. No, he isn't. Montoya's got a better exit around Chapel. There's a back marker in front of them. I might catch him going into the complex. It's Sato. Down round Stowe. Montoya was far enough away. But is Bertie going to make a last ditch dive in Vale He has a look down the inside, but he's not going to be able to get the line round Club. Montoya is catching up to Sato rather quickly. He's going to catch him in a rather awkward place. They go head towards Abbey. There's a half a second gap now between Montoya and Bertie. Round Abbey they go. Montoya's going to catch him at Bridge. By the looks of it, Montoya's going to have to go down the inside of Sato, but he's not managed to make the move at the moment. And both of them tried to go down the inside of each other. Montoya still can't get past Sato, so he's going to get out of the way at Luffield. Yes, he is. Bertie's not going to be close enough, which means that it is going to be one Pablo Montoya for Toyota to take victory at the British Grand Prix for Season 3. 6 tenths was the final gap between Montoya and Bertie. Toyota have made it 2 wins in a row for the British Grand Prix. Young takes a fantastic podium for Minardi, especially after what happened with them last season. De La Rosa finishes in 4th place for the Jaguar, and Fisichella is going to come home in 5th place. He's managed to overtake Verstappen in the final couple of corners. There is Frentzen heading the train. Fisichella in 5th, Verstappen in 6th, Fisichella 7th, Schumacher 8th, Barrichello 9th, and Alonso rounds off your point scorers in 10th place. Which means that Toyota are going to be, it's going to be Jaguar going to be leading the Constructors' Championship with 16 points, and then Toyota will be in 11 points. Probably not going to be any standings for the first race because you don't really need them, because it's going to be as you are. We're on board with our race winner of Pablo Montoya, making it a Toyota win at the British Grand Prix for 2 seasons in a row. Is Toyota's time finally going to be this season, or will there be another Jaguar dominance or Arrows dominance? Arrows haven't had a good race this time around. I mean, Verstappen. Frentzen managed to get 7th place in the end, but Schumacher all the way down in 14th place for the German defending champion, not having a good time of it at all. But there was your race winner, Pablo Montoya. 1st place is Montoya for the Toyota team. 2nd place, Bertie. 6 tenths as explained in the final classifications as we go all the way down the list of drivers, and we shall talk about all the rest. We'll talk about the rest of the drivers when we go to the lap times. Pablo Montoya started rather well, not really troubled in the top 3 positions. Got Luciano Berti, they made the one-stop work really well for him in the Jaguar. Well, Alex Young always up there, around about 2 sides on pole position. Did Young. And De La Rosa in 4th, had a very slow start, quite a long time to pick up the pace, but he managed to pick up the pace in the right time. Fisichella 5th place in the Renault, good start for him. Verstappen, 1st race back after a year out. Then we've got Heinz-Howard Frentzen, couldn't make the 3-stop work for him, but he's managed to get 4 points. Ferrari of Michael Schumacher and Barrichello in 8th and 9th place respectively. It's a good start for the Ferrari team. And then we've got Fernando Alonso making it a double points finish for the Toyota team. And then we have the rest of the drivers. We have Coulthard in the McLaren, Panis in the BAR in 12th place, a lazy 13th place for the Renault. Not really anywhere close to the front. Ralf Schumacher, quite disappointing for the defending champion. He is 14th place. 15th place, Mark Webber. The Sauber's looking strong at the start, but not sure really what happened to them. Raikkonen in the other Sauber finishing in 16th place. So there's no points for the Sauber, no points for the BAR either. Matsushita in 17th place. Sato, very contrasting styles between them two. And then we've got Hill and Button in 19th and 20th place. Thank you for watching the British Grand Prix. I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you enjoy the season too, as much as I probably will. Thank you and goodbye.